we're going to do now is we're going to start the engine up so you can hear that lovely, huge, great American muscle. So just hang on a sec, I'm just going to open the bonnet up and we shall fire it up. Okay, I've got my beautiful assistant Maria in there to start it up. Here we go. And that's it. So in there it's a 7.4 Vortec V8 engine. It's an absolute beast. And obviously you're thinking, oh my god, how much fuel that uses. But yeah, okay, it's going to use a fair amount of fuel, but it's got LPG on it. So it runs, so it starts on fuel, and then once it's warmed up it moves over to LPG gas. So that's literally half the price of fuel. So it's got two 100 litre LPG tanks on it. And basically once you start it, you don't need to do anything else to it. It literally changes over itself. So you can just go, so it goes from petrol, and then once it's warm, it flicks to gas and then it'll just run on gas. So there's nothing else you physically need to do, no buttons to press or anything. Yeah, so this is it. Okay. So yeah, it's a Vortec engine, 7.4. So from here we're going to go round in a clockwise motion. So you've obviously got the tyres, cool American, definitely, trims there, running boards, and obviously the side of the vehicle. You've got that big blind, which there's a separate little video that I'll put in with this main video of the blind actually coming out. Okay, so I want to now show you our absolutely fantastic 5 metre wind out Omnistor Bahamas awning. So basically this comes right from the side of the van and gives us total sun protection. So it winds out over here from the side of the van with this pole, and this pole goes up into there, and then you wind it out and then it extends right out. Now obviously this can only really be used when the weather's not windy, because obviously it'd be like a sail and it would fly away, and I'm a little bit concerned today because it is a little bit blustery at home, but anyway, it's all fine. So anyway, as you wind it out, you then keep bringing the poles down to then get it level, and then this here, underneath here, is an extra pole that goes in and just keeps it kind of rigid sort of thing. So it can come right out like this, and the height can be adjusted by either side of the poles to get it at what level you want. But also as well, what you can do, if you don't want to put it onto the ground, is it can actually be attached into the side here, and the legs come down at a slight angle and clip directly into there. So if you haven't got any area to put the poles on the ground, you can use these points here and at the other end as well, that it can extend, that it can sit into the van itself. So there's no problem if you haven't got ground to put it into. But yeah, what a great addition to the van. It really would. Obviously today it's cold. It's bright, but it's cold. But you know, if you're in a hot climate and the sun's beating down, this would really give some super shade to the side of the vehicle and when you come out. But yeah, so that's how it is. So 5 metre wide awning, a couple of external porch lights, and you've got an array of lockers down the side. I'm just literally going to put the step out. So electric step, which is very, very cool. Okay, we're actually going to start at this locker and then we'll work back, because I'll just show you how that works for the moment there. What you can hear running there is actually the heating system we've got going on in there at the moment. Okay, so locker opens up. They call this the warehouse in the brochure, that is obviously a huge, great storage space. I've actually put some LED lights in here. So obviously at the moment, you can't really see how bright those lights are, but there's some LEDs up there and LEDs under there. And obviously this is just stuff we've got in here at the moment, but it's, you know, how we're going to sort it out when we actually head off on our way, I don't know. But this is kind of the main storage bit there. Okay, this is the exhaust here for the heater, or the furnace they call it in the States. And at the moment that is running, you can feel that's warm. It's got an external like cigarette lighter socket. I haven't actually used that. This is for actually when it was in the US. US hookups, obviously we don't use that. Again, lovely big chrome covers, and again these are like double wheels, so you've got the twin wheels here. Okay, it's not a tag axle, it's a double wheel set here. Okay, moving down to here, this is your electrical cupboard here. Okay, I'll just pop the light on in there. Yeah, okay, so basically this is your main hookup lead. This is where you plug in your mains power when you're on site or when mains power is available. This one here comes from the generator. Now this vehicle has got an onboard generator, so you can actually camp totally wild and you can still have the full 240 volt system via the generator. So what you do is you plug this lead into this lead, and then it would create that power, and that's where the power would come from there. So generator to the electric hookup there. This is one of your LPG points to fill for the road gas, if you want to call that. So it's there. You've then got a 240 volt socket there if you've got anything outside you want to use. That's your on and off switch for the LED lights, and this here is a separate little gas hookup for like a gas barbecue or something like that. So that's all works there. And then when you do have your electric hookup in, it all comes up through there and then plugs straight into there. So it all keeps it all nice and clean like that. Okay, and then moving on down to the last locker on this side, this is where the LPG leisure gas is. So this would power like your fridge, your oven, the furnace, the hot water heater, and so on. And it just literally hooks up here. And this basically here is a small tank in here. You'd fill it here, so it's got exactly the same fitting as the road gas, and you can fill it at the petrol station there. So hence when you're on both sides, you can then hook it up and fill them both. This is where you turn your gas on, just like a normal regular gas bottle, but it's just there fixed all the time, and it gives you a guide of how much is actually in there. So we've got just between 1/4 and 1/2 of leisure gas. Okay, there's also an LED light in there again, so when it's dark you can really see what you're doing. Okay, so I'll just quickly shut these down, and then we're going to carry on moving around this way here. The light, this one here controls that one and that one, because that one there is not enclosed, so it needed to be in there. Okay, stop to there, like that. Okay, and then moving round. So this is your rear view of the vehicle. It's a little bit grubby, I haven't really had enough time to clean it, especially in this weather. It's so cold to keep it all clean all the time. So you've got the rear running lights at the back there. In the top middle there, you've got the reversing camera there, so when you're backing it up. You've also got a ladder to then go up to the roof. Okay guys, so I'm up on the roof now, and I thought I'd just do you a very quick tour of the roof. It's a little bit green up here because obviously it is winter time, but I just thought I'd literally show you what it's like. So, okay, so we've got 3 solar panels, 1, 2, 3, and they're both, or all 3 of them are all 100 watt. And then just coming over here, so obviously this is the front of the vehicle going this way. First vent there, you got your second vent. These again are a little bit worn, they probably will need to be replaced at some point. This is where a original spec US aerial would have been, and but that's all obviously out of service now. I've just tied it back down to that point, so it's all secure there. This is our television aerial. It's like a, you don't have to adjust it, it literally finds its stations like that. There's no need to make any adjustments to it, just as it is. Okay, so this is the rooftop air conditioner, and on our interior video you saw the inside control panel. So that's that. This would be the vent for the fridge, and then there's another vent here at the back above the bathroom, and you've got a couple of little caps here. That would be for your waste pipes there, and they're just vent caps there. This has had a bit of a repair on the top, but these need to be replaced because they're all very worn. And then what we're going to do is we're going to paint the whole roof. It's got its special coating on, but we're going to paint the whole roof again before we go, to make sure it's all nice. Then you've got the ladder, and that's how it is. So yeah, so all quite straightforward, but quite a big roof. And as you can see, you could sit up here, and it's a nice solid roof and such a lovely view. You know, if you're like at an air show or you're just anywhere, you know, to really get a really good view above everybody else. Okay, up on the roof, just while we're here, there is 3 100 watt solar panels. There's a television aerial, and there's also an air conditioner unit up on the top there as well. And then there's various roof vents and whatnot up there as well. But there is space you could store stuff up there. Is a rail round there. But also as well, you can actually go up there and view bits and pieces. You can actually sit up there. It's very high, but you get such a good view. At the back there, you've got the big brush there, keeps the grit down, and again, especially if you were maybe towing a vehicle, it really keeps the grit and everything off of the towing vehicle or whatnot. Plus it keeps the grit down off the back. At the back though, also as well, you can actually hook up a tow bar. I don't know if you can see in there, there's actually a square hitch there, and it's called a drawbar, and basically the square peg would go into there, and you'd be able to have your normal tow bar there, and you'd be able to tow a vehicle or whatnot sort of thing. Me and Maria were actually thinking about having a scooter to come on the back, so you could have actually a system that would have there, and you'd be able to have a scooter on the back there, but that's for future. You've got your spare wheel there, so that's all good. And then coming around this way here, it says auxiliary shower. It doesn't actually have a external shower. This is actually where you'd kind of winterize the vehicle. It's got like different controls there, so you can drain the whole water system down. Along here you've got your main fuel filler. Underneath here, this is where the mucky business is, unfortunately, of where you drain your waste tanks. Here you've got your black drain, which is unfortunately toilet waste, and then you've got your grey there, which would be from the shower, the sink, that type of thing. You unscrew that. I'm not going to do that now. You unscrew it and then you put a big hose on it, and then it will drain down into a main tank in the ground when you're on site and whatnot. Again, you've got lovely big double wheels. It's got huge great mud flaps, which I've put on to keep the mud down from getting at the back there, so they do help somewhat. Okay, so here, this is the vent for the fridge, and the fridge runs on gas, and it also runs on 240 volt. Here, this is your vent here for the hot water boiler, and that runs on gas, but it also can run on 240 volt as well. Okay, and that's obviously on a thermostat. As all the water is heated, it then shuts off, and then when you use the hot water, it obviously you use some of the hot water, and then it will fire back up to always keep a full tank of hot water. You've got another long locker here. Just open that up. Just clip back in there. And in here, you've got another fill point for your LPG road gas. But also as well, you've got your little waste hose, which we're going to replace and get a newer one, and that's for your waste tank there. But it's quite a big locker, so we could probably utilise that better than what it's being utilised now. Okay, shut that back. And then coming down to here, in here, this is just another small locker. It actually just goes into the vehicle, and it would be underneath the couch. And then down here, I'll just open that if I can. Oh, that's very stiff. Okay. And this is what we've got here. We've got just take the camera, Maria, thank you. We've got our onboard generator, and literally this has only done 11 hours of work, so it's literally brand new. So it's really, really good. It's not too noisy. It is what it is, but it would definitely give us all the power we need if we were off grid at all. And you can start it at source there, or you've got a remote start inside, so when it's raining or freezing outside like it is today, you don't have to come outside and start it. Okay, so I'm just going to open the front door here. Now obviously, as you all know, it's an American vehicle, so it's left-hand drive. So if we just come over here, so obviously the steering wheel is on the left. Two comfy chairs, both chairs turn, and so they literally face into the main RV itself. So obviously it's the same as any vehicle, but just it's obviously left-hand drive. It is automatic. It's automatic on a column shift. Not very common in the UK. More so you just have a stick shift, in the centre. But here it's got a column shift. But it's pretty cool. And once you get used to it, it works very, very well. It's got instead of a pull handbrake, it's got a foot pedal. Foot brake, stroke handbrake, and you just release it there. So you just press down on that and then it locks it there. This up here is your monitor for when you've got the reversing camera on. It's all very, very comfy. You've got some nice drinks holders there, cigarette lighter power, and we've also got, which I've put in, a USB charger there for your phones and whatnot there. Nice little map reading lights. It's got air conditioning. It's got a CD player, power steering. You know, all sort of easy stuff. So yes, so that's basically the outside of the vehicle. It's got electric windows and air conditioning, as I said, power steering, all your kind of mod cons that you would expect, sort of thing. So that's the outside. Let's move on to the inside. Okay, so let's go on inside the RV and show you what it's like. It should be nice and warm in there because it's flipping freezing out here. So let's go on in. I'll just mind this wire as I go on in. You can actually, I'll just quickly show you this, you can actually lock the door back. So safe, because we've been away in it and it's literally so windy and the door can really get pulled away. Also as well, this needs to be fixed, but you can have it, it's a bit grubby though, I need to clean that, but yes, so you would be able to have the door like that, and then this stays back. So in the warmer weather, which we all don't really know what that's like because it's been so cold in the UK recently, so this stays back like this, and then you'd have mesh. And there is a panel that goes there, and there's a panel that slides across there. It needs a bit of fixer-upping, but you get the rough idea. All of the windows have got this mesh on it. You know, in the US, I assume they're more, well, I know they are, they're more hassled by bugs and stuff. In the UK, it's so cold, no bug really wants to live here. But apparently in Scotland, it's very mosquito land, so hopefully we'll benefit from having those when we go there. And that just literally locks back in there. But as I say, that does need to be fixed. Okay, so let's go on in. Okay, so we're inside the vehicle now and it's nice and warm, so that's really good. So we're going to start up here and then we'll work our way around, sort of thing. So we talked about the cab area, so both these front seats turn to face in to the vehicle, so that really gives you more extra seating. There is a curtain that then pops all the way around here, so once at night time you can have the seats turned and the curtain will go literally around the back of those like that, so it really makes some nice extra seating area. So moving up to above the cab, you've got what they call a queen size bed. It's absolutely huge, and I'm going to quickly show you how to make it up. Obviously I haven't got all the duvet and everything, but just to give you an idea of what sort of size it is. So basically this piece literally slides like that across and makes a double bed. So I think I'm going to hop up there and just show you how big it is. Now there is a ladder that comes with it, but we've got the ladder in the garage because we're not really going to be up here, and if we can we're going to just climb up. It just seems easier. So here goes nothing. If I can get up here. Okay, so I finally managed to get up here. I thought I was climbing up Everest or something. So yeah, it's really, yeah, I'm 6 foot, and yeah, it's got masses of room. So you've got a light up here, that's quite cool. And there, we're going to put some new curtains up here, but it really is very, very big. And yeah, God, it's lovely and warm up here. I could actually go to sleep right now. And again, you've got windows at the front and either side. They've got mesh vents on them and the windows just slide open. You've also got, oh, that wasn't closed. Ooh. Yeah, that there, vents as well. And then you have a curtain system that literally would come across and sort of seal you off, sort of thing. But I don't think, you know, we're going to be using it up here. It'd be more for sort of storage and stuff. But as you can see, it works really, really well. And it's massive. It's not like one of those beds that are literally very, very small and you feel like, you know, very claustrophobic. It's got a lot of room here. So yeah, it's really nice. Okay, I managed to get down from the bed. That was quite an adventure. So up in here, again, it does need tidying up, and I've literally only just, you know, we haven't really sort of concentrated on this, and I'm going to put a light in there as well. So you've got your solar panel controller there, and that then tells you all what's going on the solar panels and what's coming in and what we're using and stuff like that. Down here you've got your 12 volt TV aerial, so we've got our TV here, and that all runs Freeview. You've got a 240 twin socket there, obviously when you're on hookup, or you've got the generator running, then you could run your normal appliances as per usual. Okay, so we just shut that back down, but we are going to get that lit in there and tidied up, because that's literally how we kind of got it, and it was like that. So moving this way, you've got a little tube heater here. It just keeps it sort of, you know, if you're on hookup, just keeps it slightly warm as you need to without having the full heating system on there. We have got a fire blanket there in case of emergencies, and we have got a fire extinguisher as well. So in here, oh dear, a little bit untidy. So when the vehicle was new, it came with a microwave, and when microwaves first came out, they were massive. So it was quite big microwave in here, but since we've got it, it didn't come with a microwave, so we are going to put our own in there as well. So up here, you've got a control panel here. It literally tells you all your sort of statistics of what you've got and where. So basically, when you press test, this here is LPG. This is LPG leisure, so that powers the cooker, the stove, the fridge, etc. And we've got 2/3 of that. This is our fresh water tank, so it's literally empty. Holding tank, again, literally empty. And our grey water has just 1/3. Yeah, I don't quite know how accurate that is, but that's roughly what it is. And then we have the battery here, and that's sort of getting a bit low. But once we get it all plugged back in, it'll all top it back up, or just drive it and the vehicle will then charge it back up itself. So that's that little kettle there. Here you've got your vent, I forget, what's it called? What is it called? Extractor over the worktop, over the cooker extractor, and that starts. That won't be, it's quite noisy, so again, you wouldn't sort of use that too much unless you really had to. It's got a light on there, which is quite nice. Again, we have got a few lights on, but it's quite bright outside still, so it doesn't really show the lighting that much. So you've got a 3-burner hob. This one at the front is high speed, so this is one where you boil your kettle on. Okay, you've got an oven in here. So basically the oven, it doesn't have a grill, but it has what they call a broiler, and that's basically the US version of a grill, and that works like that. We need a bit more working on that because we burnt a few things, but we'll get there, so don't worry, we'll get there. Here you've got a big mixer tap, hot and cold, with a little side drainer there, and we've got our drainer that goes there. But it's a huge sink for a van. So we've got hot and cold running water. So basically it's just like that. You'd think you're in home. It's that good. Like that there. You've got a nice little drawer there that pulls out, and then in here you've got your little cupboard there, and so on and so forth there. That's your main breaker there when you're on hookup, and then we've got, I don't think you can see up there, but up here we've got a 12-volt fuse box which I've put in, and that powers all the low voltage stuff like USB chargers, LED lights, that sort of thing. Under here we've got there's actually 4 batteries in this vehicle. There's 3 under here, and they're really, really big leisure batteries. 3 under here, and then there's another battery that's under the step. And then here, just in here, is the charger system that controls all of it and where the power goes. Okay, so moving over to this side here, this is what they call the pantry here, and this is really where you store all your food. It needs lighting putting in because it's very, very dark in there. So when you're trying to look, it's very dark. So we will be putting some lights in there. I didn't show you up here, just above here. Again, more cupboard space really. Again, this is literally just for going away weekends at the moment. It's not been sort of converted to our full-time living type of thing, which we will do. Underneath here you've got various other drawers and stuff. I will just open one. There's nothing really in it, I don't think. Yeah, but they're very, very deep drawers, you know, like that. So that's good. Okay, and then around the top of the bed, above the bed, you've got all of your super storage area, which is absolutely massive. That goes around the entire top of the bed. Around here, that's all empty at the moment, so I'm sure we'll find stuff to put in there. Here you've got your reversing camera switch where you turn it on at the back there, and then it hooks at the front there. It's a wireless setup like that. You've got this super double bed. You know, I'm sure it's comfier than that one at home. It really is comfy. So it's double bed, and underneath the double bed you've got your furnace, and you've got the massive 40-gallon US water tank, fresh water tank, and that gets filled. Actually, I didn't actually say it when we were outside, but it actually fills from behind, and it fills there, and it's actually insulated. We've insulated it ourselves. So there's that. You've got down here, you've got a nice little little storage there, little nightstand if you want to call it. And then just down here, I don't know if you can see, there's another USB socket that's put in there to charge your devices as such there. So I think we're going to put another one here as well, or in there, just to make it a little bit more accessible. Here, this is a lovely map here, and basically how you operate this map is you actually, as you visit places, you scratch the surface off and it reveals the proper map underneath. So where we travel, we'll scratch off bits from where we go, and hopefully one day the map will be, you know, revealed as much as where we've travelled. Just going back to the bedroom area, there is mini blinds, and they, just like a normal house blind, they just tilt. But we've also got curtains that go across, so really sort of black it out like that. Okay, so like that, and then the blinds pull up, you know, and that's how that works, sort of thing. Okay. Moving round, we've got the bathroom, most important room of the vehicle. Now obviously it is quite small, but it's only me and Maria going to be in here, so I'm just going to just turn this on here. Cool. And we've got a little light under there, and then here I'll just reveal back in here. So in here we've got a full shower, and that works just as a normal home one would, with hot and cold, and it's a mixer tap. Again, not particularly massive, but big enough for us, and all nice and tidy. Then you've got the toilet, so that's all pretty self-explanatory. Heated towel rail literally works when we are plugged into mains hookup, but that's a really nice little feature. Nice little medicine cabinet or vanity cabinet or such, but again, lots of storage there, so that works there. And then we've got a little LED light that I've put in that makes it a lot brighter there to see when you're washing your hands and whatnot. And then you've got the fresh running water there, so that's like that. You've got another storage cupboard under there, so quite big, like that. So that's basically the tour of the bathroom there. The toilet, again, it is a plastic toilet, but it's a nice full-size toilet with a proper power flush, like that. So that's how that works. I'll just come out there. I'll leave those lights on and sort that out later. Okay, and then you have your wardrobe, and you've got a cupboard up there as well. I've put some LED lights in there because it really makes a lot of difference, as you can see. Storage and storage, loads of storage. This vehicle has got so much storage, it's unbelievable. I'll turn that off there. That's how that works. Here you've got your big American style fridge freezer. Okay, you've got your freezer up there. It's not turned on at the moment, so it's going to just be dark at the moment. So that's your freezer, and then you've got your big fridge there. Okay, like that. But it's massive, you know. We're used to a small little fridge, no bigger than the oven really. But so this is really, really big. It runs on 240 volt or gas. If you get to the point where you've got both available, it will always opt for mains power over gas. So, but it's very, very cold. It works really well, and it's really, really nice and cold. So that's good. All quite self-explanatory and, you know, quite easy to use. No hassle there. Again, big drawers here, slide out. I've got a couple of little bits in there at the moment, but yeah, that's how they work. And they've got these little locker cabinets. I don't know if they were original fit, but they work, and they stop the drawers from falling out. Moving along down, you've got a smoke alarm there. This here is the thermostat that controls the furnace or blown air heating system. So basically, at the moment, we're at a nice temperature. Where is it? It's probably what, 25 degrees C in here, and basically it just literally comes back on. So it's got to that temperature, and then as the vehicle stays at that temperature, or when it drops below that temperature, sorry, I'm rambling a bit here. When the vehicle drops below 25 or whatever you've got it set to up here, it will literally then just cycle back on and off as need be. So that's that. Unusual little light here, we don't really know what it's about. A little reading light, we might take that out. And you've got a little net thing here. Strange quirky cup holder there, again a little bit odd. Huge great blinds here, again it's got the mesh screening under there and with again a sort of blackout curtain there. Huge great storage up above here. We've got a couple of little games in there and stuff. So that's quite good, quite straightforward. Nice, they work on these little, so it props up. Again, very American, very, well, very cool. So that's that. Then here is the sofa. I'm going to just take this off here. So basically with the sofa, it's literally a normal sofa you can sit on. So if me and Maria are in here, we can sit here at night and watch the telly and stuff. Also, it converts to a double bed. It's not a particularly massive double bed, but basically what you do is you literally just hoik that up like that, and it literally goes down like that. So really, it's quite good. It works quite well, quite efficient. So, you know, I think you could sleep 6 people in here. You could have 2 at the top, 2 on the double bed, and 2 here if you were pushed to. It would be a little bit cozy, but it is doable. So you've got lighting up here, and lighting there, and some US sockets here, which again, we don't really need to worry about those, because they're all sort of defunct really. And then they call this a bed, a jackknife bed. You know, basically it's something like that. And you literally just lift it, he says, and you literally just bring it in, and it then clicks in like that. There is storage all underneath there as well, so that's quite good. And when we were outside, we talked about that little cupboard, and that's where that little cupboard comes in underneath there. Okay, what else have we got? This here is for an old area that is not on, that we don't use anymore. We've got a little dome area up there. You've got vents throughout that wind and open up, and that all works quite well, so you can sort of vent it here. And then up here you've got an air conditioner that that in the summertime would be perfect. It does work, we have tried it. So yeah, so that's how that works there. So that's all quite good, all quite easy to operate. Everything seems to be sort of quite straightforward. Just to point out here, this is the blown air heating system here, and this is where the warm air comes out, which is there, and there's one in the bathroom as well that's just down in there like that. And then I'll just come to over here, and there's one here as well. So yeah, it's really nice and warm. So yeah, it's not too noisy. It works quite, you know, it's quite quiet. And then here you've got a little control panel here for an outside porch light, those lights I showed you earlier, and then just this big ceiling light, which, because we've converted all the lights that are inside the vehicle to LED, so it runs very, very low power. Whereas this one here is like a standard bulb, but we've kept them standard, so they're really super bright, so it works quite well. Okay, so just one last thing I think now. I think that's kind of, we've covered most things in here. This here is the this in here is the control panel for the generator. So basically what you do is you literally prime it, and then you start it. Okay, let's prime it. They say you have to count to 15. Okay. And then you can hear it running. And that's it. So basically now we've got full 240 volt power. So really, really good. Again, you can obviously hear it. It is quite, but we're in quite an enclosed space back at home here at the moment. So, but that's how it works. But how cool to be able to run in the middle of nowhere and have full 240 power. I'm going to turn it off now, I don't want to upset neighbours. But that's how it works. So, that's it. I didn't actually say what the vehicle was, did I? So basically that's the guided tour of a 1998 Coachmen Catalina Sport on a 3500 Chevrolet Express body. This is the body here. So yeah, we're really happy with it and we hope it's going to keep us safe and on the road. So thanks for joining us. I hope my video wasn't too boring, wasn't too waffle. But yeah. Can I get up here? How did we get up here last time? I don't think I can get up here. How do I get up here? She's not helping. How do we get up here? See, it always looks so cool when we're doing everything, and then look at me struggling around, back's aching. Right, anyway, right. Ugh. Okay, you can cut that now. Okay, I'm now going to try and get down, if I can. Oh. Right, you can cut this now. Come on, get the wire off. Right, wick me down. Ah. Oh, you caught me. I'm just trying to work out how to adjust. Well, I don't know, what am I? Where am I? Oh my God, I've lost my page. So anyway, it's a big vehicle. And with a big vehicle comes a big manual. This is the owner's manual for this vehicle. Look at the size of it. So I think it's going to take me quite a while to work through to make sure I'm doing everything correctly. There we go. Thank you.